Hello! Welcome to Let's Talk About Stuff-okey, where I talk about random stuff, and I am pretty positive I will not be rained on. Some of the stuff in this video may be true, some of it may not. It's mainly me just talking about stuff. I don't always know what I'm talking about, so don't always take my word. This video is continuing the dyonisis thing I'm talking about because I have a lot to say. So, my last video left off, a lot of people in ancient Greece were feeling attacked. Not only were a lot of their leaders very hyper-controlling, but also a lot of these people were individuals who were oppressed. Love came with regulations, and if you were of a different race or background, you needed to be really careful. Also, if you were a woman in ancient Greece, it would not end well for you. I know a lot of how ancient Greece is painted can be romanticized, but there were a lot of downsides that people didn't recognize when it did come to diversity. Enter Dionysus. The people saw this god who was wild and carefree and was willing to turn people into dolphins when they tried to assault him. I know that's a weird thing to focus on, but that literally was an issue a lot of people in ancient Greece were dealing with. So what do you do when you find this god and they stand for sticking it to the man? You turn them into an activistic figure. And that is exactly what happened to Dionysus. People would form these parties and these groups specifically to worship this god who seemingly accepted everybody. A god made specifically for who they are, no matter what your mental health is, what you look like, and any other factors. And yeah, that might not be entirely what he stood for. This might be a part of the stuff that's false. This is what he's always stood for me. This has been my personal connection to him. And you know, there are Greek myths and the actual history behind them, and then there's also the personal, internalized connection you have with those gods. And I feel like both of those play a huge role into who they are. I did leave out the fact that a lot of people would die during these parties, usually through the means of the people at these parties. There was this poet who went to this party who famously died. And yeah, I'm gonna be real with you, it did eventually kind of reach cult status. But you have to understand with how ancient Greece was, stabby stabby good time was very common. That's 3 minutes, I will have a part 4.